to have just been because I unplugged everything and now she's not working. Come on. Does that mean I... You've got to be kidding me. Settings, general settings. Throw that open again. Okay. After selection. Not what I wanted to do. Okay, close that. Start it again. Oh, there we go, finally. Got that up and running. Oh, just had me sweating for a second there. Did not realize that was going to break like that, but so be it, so be it, so be it. My arms have finally stopped hurting after 4 days of hauling furniture, so that's a nice improvement. And get straight into it. Arrow is expected to show up at some point because he is... Why does that say it's offline? Actually, why does that say it's offline? Oh my god, do I have to fix Twitch now? Please do not tell me I have to fix Twitch. I may have to fix Twitch. No, Twitch is working. Excellent. Had me fucking sweating there. I have to fix Twitch. I'm not even gonna ask why the app isn't working. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, screw it. Oh boy. I could use a break. That's gonna throw up a warning. Maybe I should just put that on the tags for Twitch as well. Safety's sake. Oh. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here, or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. We can ask what's going on later. Climb out. You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog, like from Earth? I don't think that's a dog. The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. Where's my strip puffle? You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4, in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you... Solana, because I can pronounce that. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. Works for me. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt beneath your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. Aw, that's cute. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. Why is calm temperament nothing at all seems like a tempting choice, but also like I'm gonna make my life more difficult. Sure, why not eagle eyes? Your eyes have both eagle and owl DNA, so you have superhuman long distance and night vision. Not only can you see all the way to the holoprojector from the back of the classroom, but you can read Professor Hal's private holopalm notes. Sometimes they say confidential, which is exciting, but you don't understand most of the big words. The other kids think you're a little weird, except... Never hurts to have a bold and confident friend. Mars is a natural leader. Whenever you're all playing together, Mars is the one who comes up with all the ideas. She can be a little bossy, but that's part of her charm. She always organizes fun stuff for the kids after class. You're both founding members of the Secret Fun Times Club. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to the other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Solana, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as the siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you get in touch with your emotions. Probably your best call there. Oh, maybe not. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad puts his arms around you as you let it out. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too, your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon, and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is the sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know, somehow, that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow, all at once, And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. "Hurry up," she says. "I'm not going to let you miss this." Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Looking out the window, I imagine sunlight's probably the first thing you see. Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the window. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around, outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Hey, it's Tammy. Oh! Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. "You're awake! Are you all better? You better go see your dad." She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. To walk, click on the ground. Click on characters to talk to them. Tammy looks concerned. "You slept for so long after you bumped your head," she says. "I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics, near those domes. They're called greenhouses." "I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed," Tammy stammers, blushing. "It's scary outside." Aww. Hey, Arrow, she is! It's very pink lemonade. I'm not just saying that because I just drank some of that today. What's this? A low, throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. "Don't forget to study hard, Solana." A small team led by Security Chief Rhett was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. That is absolutely tiny. Oh, hey, it's Father. "Solana, your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry." He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Aw. "Welcome to Vertumna," he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside, except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings, and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. How did you do it that fast? "You've been asleep for weeks, my dear aubergine," he says, "and these geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up." But some of this is only a quick temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things. One day our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Oh, before I forget. He pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. I should not have started doing voices. I'm running out of ideas. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of déjà vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feeling of panic rises in your throat. Your hand shakes. But how? Your dad notices. Are you okay, Solana? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instant shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes those sleeping meds take a while to wear off. They might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe that's all it is. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Solana, he says, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry. We're going to fix it, your mother and I. Professor Hal is expecting you in classes, if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing, in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Solana. I love you. To enter buildings, click on the door or flag. Choose an activity for the month, 13 months in a year, 10 years to the end of the game. I'll definitely remember those numbers. No, I won't. The greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from earth that might belong in a jungle, desert, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies, little flowers with what looks like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flower. Oh, hey. You see Deese sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need the walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, Deese whispers, I think there are monsters out there. I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. Stop making fun of me, Deese pouts. You're as bad as Mars. Yeah, in fairness, that did sound like I was making fun of him. Yeah. Deese looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. Oh dear, now I've just embarrassed him. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors off to nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into a supply depot, which works as both requisitions office and general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses, stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. Hey, I wasn't bullying you on purpose! Colony food shorthole -100%. Colony security rating evaluating. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Upcoming Vertumnalia Festival. Ooh, current council. Melatonin, antecedent, Flulu, instance, ret, seek, edicott. I won't remember any of that. Where the hell was I supposed to be going? Engineering class? I don't want to go back and take a nap. I want to go to engineering. Oh, hey. Hiya, Solana! An enemy seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, 'cause it isn't cold. But it's still neat, and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. An enemy is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. What are you making? Just snow spiral, she says. But earlier, me and Cal made a big snow pile. You missed it while you were sleeping in medbay. She smiles her broad, gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Have you seen any monsters? Nope, just some little bugs. The grown-ups would say if there were monsters, right? She shrugs, then smiles reassuringly. Even if there were monsters, Chief Rhett would beat them all up, so don't worry. My mom says we're safer here than we were in space. You both look at the wreckage of the Stratospheric, the spaceship where you were born. An enemy's mom, antecedent, is probably right about that. Look what the wormhole did to your ship. Why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm going to be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried, do you? It's okay, she says. Professor Howell is chill. He won't mind, but we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you! No fair! She's getting a head start. I think this is engineering. Ah, yes, congruence. Life sciences or humanities. What have we gone with so far? Been friendly. Stress cry. Keep adding to your deck as you age and can forget cards by spending time relaxing. Collectibles may be given as gifts or used during challenges. Rebellion. Oh, we're leaning into the humanities anyway. Welcome, Solana. Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient Earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn, because I was up late repairing Congruence's subterminal, and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Freedom, equality, democracy. I'm 10. I don't think I'm thinking that far ahead. My friends are here. You write about all your buds and the fun things you do together. When Hal wakes up from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars likes yours because you mention her in it. Oh, when you work or go to class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the month passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. If you total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward for doing your best. Bonuses for flushes, bonuses for pairs. Bonuses for straights. More cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other and can be rearranged to find the best total score. a physical challenge. Ay. I don't play. Imagine it's like poker where you have to make the best score out of the hand you have. Yeah, I don't play poker. I don't know how poker works. I can do blackjack, but or 21 or whatever it's called these days, but not poker. Oh, my street waffle is called. Oh well. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a week off take a month off to relax. A month? Why does it surprise you that I don't play poker? I can't hold a poker face. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job, and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric, where you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad said. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles. And Professor Hal will give you kudos if you can get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, your dad says, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future, and if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you, no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. Hey. An enemy is bumping a sports ball with her wrists, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts, and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. An enemy tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little zero-G one on the stratospheric. Her brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. Nope. I found a shortcut key. I haven't met half of these. Oh, okay. I'm going to coerce you into being my friend whether you like it or not. You find your mom working hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth, spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Solana, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, as long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering wing in the back half of the stratospheric's severed frame. Professor Hall's still expecting you in class, but A well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? What are you doing in geoponics? She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you, up and down. You're growing fast, Alana, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. What's the garrison? Security Chief Rhett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you'd see on a holovid. For a moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else. Then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. What's going on in command? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. And they're also setting up a shop there, if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman, and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out, then maybe you can join them in a few years when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye! Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Just hanging out with my friends. That Kyle's a good boy, he says. And have you seen an enemy? She's out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she's spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his arms wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. Who is Cal, and where is he? Oh, Mars! A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Solana! Mars calls out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Sure, why not? Good, Mars claps. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters. Mars sighs. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Well, be nice to her. Tammy is staring obliviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Solana, she says, putting her hand to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's Soy Sweets. Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets, made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have the scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nanoprint it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. That was literally 10 steps down an incline. Mars puts her hand out expectantly. Give it here. I'm not going to negotiate for it. I feel bad. Here it is. You hand over the box of soy sweets with a smile. Mars takes it and giggles. Never mind, I definitely should have negotiated for it. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. Yeah, I'm negotiating next time. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip, she tells you. Alright, never mind. Negotiation cancelled. Oh, and Administrator Seek's looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot, she says. I don't want to do it, 'cause, like, ew, running around out there? No. Just go through there, she says, gesturing to the door behind her, and tell them I referred you. Okay, she redeemed herself with the tip. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole life. Back on the ship, you... Study partner! Tammy was awful, just awful at Earth history. She thought Europe was the name of an English queen, and the Pacific was a famous ceasefire treaty. Facts go in one of her huge ears and back out the other. No matter how hard you tried, she never seemed to improve. Her ears perk up hopefully when she sees you. Hello, Solana. I was hoping you could help me with some homework. Of course. I lost her reasoning. Trying to help her with homework made me stupider? Oh, thank you. She bounces up and down. You spend a couple of hours trying to teach her the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. One makes heat and one absorbs it. Why is this so hard for her to understand? The thing is, Tammy never loses heart when she fails a test or gets an answer wrong. It's inspiring, even though sometimes you feel like you get dumber after studying with her. I would now die for Tammy. Wait, I'm supposed to be getting a job. Do we split it or do we commit to the one personality? And who the hell is Cal? Someone mentioned a Cal, but I haven't actually seen anyone called that. Go on, Arrow, give me your insider knowledge. Do I pick a skill set and gun it for that, or do we look for another one? Do we spread it out a bit more? Dating sim style, pick and stick. Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards pick and stick anyway. See how it goes. Although, I feel like I should probably do life sciences to recover from my time with Tammy. Very helpful, thank you, Arrow. We're doing life sciences. Stick with the same professor, at least. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologists and up-and-coming chemists. Professor Hal welcomes you back to your old classroom. This afternoon we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to his hollow projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a little bit of everything, with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering classes. I thought that's one of the options here. -1 kudos good or bad? It seems like a bad thing. Sure. Take the win. This week, you had a few more bouts of déjà vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning, you were sure Professor Hal was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Hal walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Ugh. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick, or need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? I don't want to go to medbay. I don't want to get section, thank you. You don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You have a feeling that something is happening at Geoponics that they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make that worse. If you just keep going to classes and staying out of trouble, it'll be easier for everyone, yourself included. It never is. Oh, hello. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily in the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Hal wants us to prep a list of native fauna with pictures. There should be a catalog on the colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Let's try being adventurous and say let's make our own list. Tangent is dubious, but agrees to try your idea. The two of you run around the colony yard, taking pictures of all the different vertumnant plants you can find, and making up fake sciencey sounding names for them, like Wonkius shrubbius and Purplius gracium. After an hour, you've categorized 51 different species. Tang doesn't think it's a very complete list, or a very scientific method, but she figures you must have learned something. An enemy holds her stomach as you approach. Does the air here make you feel hungry all the time, or is it just me? She wonders. I feel like I could eat a whole one of them mushroom trees. Just She mimes shoving a whole mushroom into her mouth. 20? Yeah, that ain't happening, honey. Deese is listening to his hair speak, completely ignoring you. You put yourself in his field of vision and he scowls. What do you want? Leave me alone. Alright. You're getting... Oh. Ah, the mystery Cal. Cal is riding around the geoponics garden on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden, shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off, but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Solana! Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, no way. I didn't mean it like that, Cal exclaims. It's actually really cool. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. Alright. Let's try it. Sure, but, please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed going down one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Parental unit. Your mom is hard at work breaking ground for the new fields, As the colony's chief cultivator, she's been preparing for this year for as long as you can remember. "Hey, Solana," she says, leaning hard on her tiller and mopping her brow. "You need me for something? If you're not going to class, I can always put you to work." Nope, I'm good. May as well talk to Dad. Oh. You spot your dad lying on the ground in the soft grass, looking up at the sky. He zooms his hand across his field of vision like a spaceship, then looks over with a dreamy smile. "Hey, kiddo," he says. "Sometimes I can't believe we're back on solid ground. After 20 years in space, it just doesn't feel real." And there's nothing I can do there. The toughness is mandatory, huh? "I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet," Mara says, sighing. "Seek says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and hard-working I am than everyone else?" Can't do that. Tim Tams. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. "I don't like when he goes out there," she sniffs after he's gone. "But he is so brave, and so are you. That's why I like you, Solana." Okay, based on these points, I'm starting to feel like we need to commit to something already. We are doing back to humanities. "There's some sort of emergency in engineering that requires Hal's attention, so today's class will be taught by the ship's artificial intelligence, Congruence." "Good morning," Congruence chirps. "Today, we're going to talk about the formation of the Vertumna Group and our decision to leave Earth. It's a very exciting topic, and we think you're finally ready to hear about it. Let's dig in." You know how it started. Economic and environmental instability, coupled with deeply entrenched hatreds, had thrown the Earth into chaos. And you know how it ended. In that chaos, your parents formed the Vertumna Group with a plan to leave Earth. 20 years later, they and their star-born children, you, slid through a wormhole and ended up here on a planet you called Vertumna. But there's so much you don't know. Congruence pulls up a hollow projection of an unassuming human with a firm maternal gaze. "This is Planktonic Ascendance Wang Botha Schmidt," she says, "the spiritual leader of the Vertumna movement. They were what people called a speculative fiction writer. The Vertumna Project proved that their writing, though speculative, was far from fiction." Wait, a sci-fi author? "Yes," Congruence tells you. "Their best-selling novel, Life Beyond the Einstein-Rosen Bridge, told the story of a fictional utopia on the other side of the real-life anomaly at the edge of the solar system. Scientists had been investigating the wormhole for years, but it took a poet to imagine we could travel through it." Wang Botha Schmidt's writings centered around the idea of humanity building a technological utopia on another world. Translated to 100 languages, this was a compelling idea to people at the time, so fans started connecting in VertSpace. Far from just a book club, these people bonded over mutual aid amid the increasing unrest in their own countries. They were committed to Wang Botha Schmidt's idea of a future where everyone is treated equally without prejudice. But they realized it couldn't be done online, Congruence tells you. Though committed to social justice, the group saw the impossibility of forming a truly egalitarian society while also reckoning with their own implicit biases and the diverse contexts of their real lives. They realized that this was the work of generations, and the solutions must look to the future, as Wang Botha Schmidt did. So they got together. The image of a squat concrete building with a rooftop garden replaces Wang Botha Schmidt. Around the edges of the classroom, the hollow projector gives the impression of towering walls topped with razor wire. The first Vertumna colony, Congruence tells you. 400 people volunteered to sacrifice their own cultural beliefs to walk through these doors, agreeing to come up with a new way of life that would be taught to their children. Babies were conceived from egg and sperm donors, chosen by lottery, and raised communally, like you, as the second generation of the Vertumna group. Those babies were your parents. So guessing they created a new culture then? Wait. The hollow projection now shows the compound under siege. As more colonies were founded, word got out about the Vertumna Group's social experiments, Congruence continues. Assimilation was an unpopular ideology at the time because it had been used to commit terrible genocides on Earth. This, combined with panic that the Vertumna Group was destroying the family unit, or raising an army of Genetech super soldiers, brought the colony under attack from all sides. I mean, assimilation is... I can't say I'm on board with assimilation. In leaving behind inherited traditions, rules, and resentments, the hope is that humanity may be wiped clean of centuries of intergenerational trauma. Congruence sounds like she's reciting doctrine. Even the first generation of the Vertumna Group wasn't certain it was possible. You're the beginning of the new beginning. Who knows what you'll be capable of? You get the feeling you're not going to get a nuanced answer from the ship's AI, which I suppose is fair enough. The image of the burning compound is replaced with the stratospheric on a launch pad. Luckily, the next phase of the Vertumna project was ready to launch. 100 colonists were selected to leave Earth on a colony ship to seed a far-flung corner of the universe with a new human culture. I've just realized who I'm doing as the voice for Congruence. It's the flippin'... I can't remember her name. It's the Asari AI from Mass Effect. I'm tracking her speech patterns for this. Avina. I was playing Andromeda a couple months ago, that's why it's in my head. She smiles. The ultimate goal of the Vertumna Group was you, children, she says. A generation raised completely unburdened by troubles that plagued Earth. Isn't that lovely? How did they build the ship? Orbital voyages were a hobby for the ultra-rich in an earlier century, so there were several relics to be found in museums, Congruence replies. The difficulty was not in acquiring a ship, but in making it spaceworthy, and in the logistics of the launch itself. The group crowdsourced enough funding to purchase and repair the ship, Congruence smiles. As for logistics, well, you are speaking to the solution right now. I was acquired by connected group members, along with the Genetech that created you and your parents. The Stratospheric was the first manned vessel to navigate the wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Given the state Earth was in when it left, it may have been the last. What was Earth like when it left? Terrible! Congruence shows you some dire demographics. The institutions that had given people the illusion of safety were torn down, and wars were rampant, both resource-based and ideological. Large parts of the Earth were rendered uninhabitable by climate change, pollution, and nuclear war, especially the critical food-growing regions of the world. The Vertumna Group weren't the only ones trying to escape Earth, but as far as we know, we are the only success. So nobody on Earth was like us? The Vertumna Group members have a unique culture, Congruence replies, but it is formed from a combination of many heritages from Earth. Even the language you speak, Esperanto, was invented to bring people together. And don't worry, Congruence exclaims. You brought your best heritage with you. You're humans. So much information. Your head is so stuffed with ideas it might burst. Professor Hal and your parents never mentioned this stuff before. They waited to tell you because they wanted you to grow up without feeling different based on your genetic makeup or family history. It's hard to imagine having a different culture than your neighbors. You wonder what it's like. Everyone celebrating different holidays, eating different food, speaking different languages. Are you missing out, or are you better without it, like the original colonists believed? It's hard to say, as the decision was made for you long before you were born. All you can do is be the best Solana you can. I do not want harder challenges. And swing your coin flip. Yeah. Oh, I need a fucking break. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now, Tangent says, brushing you off. I'm working on my science fair project. We're going to show them off during the Vertamnalia festival, which will be held in Dust. I have very little time. Please leave me alone. Yeah, I know I need a break. Okay, listen, Dees, at some point you will be my friend, whether you like it or not. An enemy runs up to you. Hi, Solana, she huffs, catching her breath. She grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, an enemy, no running. But outside, there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction. Even more after the robo-plows clear the land for farms. Oh, that's Tammy's dad again. Cal, got anything new to say? Cal is crouched beside a big puddle, staring into his reflection. It's so amazing, don't you think? On the Strato, we could only have very short showers. We had to reuse the same water over and over, he continues. But here, water just falls out of the sky and then lies around in puddles. Lakes, even. It's a whole thing. A happy watering bot trundles by. You still whining about not having... Ooh, an egg. You've heard of Vertamnalia, right? Mars asks you. You know, the festival we're holding in dust season? I've already got my routine planned for the talent show. She flips her hair over her shoulder and laughs. If you have a hope of competing against me, you're going to need to get creative. You know what? Does anybody here... I feel like I shouldn't be giving Xeno eggs to children. Hey, you're the sensible one, right, Mom? No, unfortunately. Wait, you're literally shoot, I can't remember the word. Animal guy. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions is off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. Cool. No, I'm good. I have to know. This is a terrible idea. Dees is hanging out near the south gates, his hands in his pockets, idly staring at the ground, and digging the toes of his boots into the dirt. He nods at you, but doesn't say anything. Does this interest you? I'm gonna give... This is a terrible idea. Thank you, Dee says, clearly unsure how to react. I'll, find something to do with it. Seriously? I give you an alien egg and I get 1 point of friendship? I accidentally say something mean to you and I lose 2? This will be remembered. I need a break, though. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of their time in the big common area. There's a lounge and a cafeteria and a creche where all the little kids and babies are raised communally. I didn't bully him on purpose. So, yeah, I may have bullied him a little bit. It wasn't until after I selected it that I realized how much it sounded, how mocking it sounded, even though I was trying to be genuine. Oh, those strip waffles are good. Give me a second, I'm just gonna consume. I should have consumed a smaller part. The lounge is a long, well-lit hall along the outer hull of the ship's midsection. It's strewn with tables and cushions, and serves as a communal living room for the tiny one-room spaces every family is assigned. You flop down onto the lounge's big beanbag pile with some of the other kids. Cal has a dazed, peaceful look on his face. The air smells so good on Vertamna, and so does the dirt even. You notice his clothes are filthy, but obviously Cal couldn't care less. An enemy bounces in. Holy crap! There's so much space to run around and play in! Com and Chief Rhett set up an outdoor sports ball court, and it is way huger than the old one on the ship. Tangent carefully selects one cushion from the pile and perches on it. The school's expanding some of the empty engineering bays, she tells you, and we're getting a bigger new lab to do experiments using local resources. There's so much to learn about this planet. An enemy rolls her eyes, but Tang continues. We shouldn't forget our studies just because we've landed, she says primly. I want to explore the jungle, but I feel like I'll die if I do. Do it anyway. Ooh! Solana is right, you hear over your shoulder, and you startle to find Deese standing right behind you. Gah! When did he get here? Did you see those huge beasts in the jungle as we were landing? Deese continues, picking at a thread at his sweater until it unravels. I wonder if there are more out there. You've had less of the deja vu, dreams come to life feeling this week, and you're starting to think you'd even imagined it. But suddenly you get a prickling sensation in the back of your neck, and remember that Marge is about to enter the lounge and tell everyone to look outside. You stare at the door. Marge walks through as if on cue. OMG! Everybody, look outside! They're hosting a flag over command! She says, clapping her hands excitedly. You know what that means, right? She stands tall with her hands on her hips. Vertamna is officially humanity's first exocolony ever! You look out at the flag, feeling dizzy, and silently mouth out the words along to what she says next. You remember this moment so well. This is history, kids, she exclaims, wrapping an enemy and Tangent under each arm, and we were there. You wake up from an afternoon nap. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. Oh, I'm sorry, Solana, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice out there, with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows. You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh. You were having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seton is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. I mean, fuck, who turns down free candy? How old am I? 10. Yeah, who turns down free candy? In the cafeteria, Auntie Seton is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Solana, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet, and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets that the kitchen nanoprinter can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. A tier list review of what I've met so far. I could work on that. Sensible people turn down free candy. Okay, yeah, if it's from a stranger, but this isn't a stranger. This is Auntie Seton, who's definitely not related to I can't pronounce the actual word it is. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think. Pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give to her later. You're relaxing in your family quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-creased ones. Solana, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon, in the crash. Your class... What? She's like 10! Your classmate, Tammy, has died. You try to understand her words. Tammy? Dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy. Pink and fluffy, just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky, dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind blank. I want to know what happened. Your mom tells you, as simply as possible, that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holo projector. It was just an accident. You press her for more, for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you'd grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you, sometimes there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death, and you don't know what you're supposed to do or say. You sort of mumble, okay, then get changed and crawl into bed a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. See that one coming? Thank you. Tang is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. Tammy's? What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for that holo projector to break. Professor Hal said it was recently serviced and nothing was wrong with it before it just... She gestures angrily. Just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Solana. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Can you believe Tammy died? Deese asks morbidly. I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell someone about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken holo projector. The one in the crash with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? And Jesus Christ, Deese. When she touched it, she got chucked all the way across the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hand. Bam! She was dead before she even landed. Kids. Deese suddenly looks embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad she's gone. She was nice. He tugs at the sleeves of his oversized jacket. But that's kind of a cool way to die. Oh boy. I'm having horrible flashbacks to being 12 and kind of goth. An enemy is chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clangs ringing through the colony. Stupid planet, she yells. Stupid crash. Stupid spaceship. She bends down to pick up another rock, but instead just sobs and braces her hands on her knees. Stupid everything. Why'd she have to die? It's not fair. Kids aren't supposed to die. Can I give, like, at least one of these people a hug? 'Cause they fucking need it. Although, I probably do too. Cal is sitting in your mom's flower garden, with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning, and probably all of yesterday too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, you kind of always giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. I genuinely don't know which of these is a better option. Oh, I feel like asking if he's okay is redundant, because the answer is no. Me too, he sniffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are. Me really, really too. Tammy always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I pick some for her. He runs his hand over the pretty white flowers. Don't tell your mom, okay? Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink, just stares at the flowers as the tears run down his cheeks. You decide to give him some space. Your dad gives you a hug. Sorry you're feeling blue, Solana, he says. Things will start to look up again soon. Buddy, that is not the correct response. Your mom pats your shoulder encouragingly. I'm so sorry, Solana. That's the correct response. I feel like I'm not gonna like whatever she says. Okay. Mars is staring into space, looking somber. She doesn't even notice as you come up beside her and barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there, in that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun doing nothing, just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. I miss her too. And now she's dead, Mar says, making a face. How's that for fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You've never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before, but of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh, yeah, Administrator Seek is looking for you, I guess. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. I was a little afraid she was going to be like stereotypical mean girl who didn't give a shit, but I'm glad they did not take that path. Well, that was emotionally traumatic. Let's go deal with something else. I can organize shit. Chief Administrator Seek greets you at the depot. They look you up and down. Solana, you've never struck me as particularly responsible or organized, but children never are. What makes you think you'd be a good fit for the position of courier? You didn't realize there was going to be a job interview. I am organized. Cleaning your bedroom once in a while isn't the same thing, Seek sneers. But lucky for you, you're the only applicant this week. You've got the job. For now, anyway. They use their elegant stylus to note this on their hollow palm. Come back in a few minutes and you can help make deliveries. Yes, there will be kudos in it for you if you do it correctly. You be nice to Tammy. No blood for the blood god for Tammy's sake. I think she'd cry. The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead. Or you could get back to work. Why is Tammy Who one of the available options? I'm going to the goddamn funeral. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down here to be recycled is one of your chores, but you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times, a colonist had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vertumna, and the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed inside the opening. Inside, you see a shrouded figure, Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents and antecedent, and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mom and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. "There are no words to ease the pain we feel today," she begins solemnly. "There is only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child," she continues, "one of the first humans to be born in space, and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble Earth. She is the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community we are capable of great strength." Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. "As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us." The ceremony is adjourned, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. "I want you to know that you don't need to be okay," he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. "If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand." "Man, I'm going back to school. It's just depressing." You feel better, just having said goodbye. You didn't really know Tammy that well, after all. It's sad that she's dead, but you have to move on. Welp. How you doing, Cal? Cal gives you a sympathetic smile. "Hey, Solana," he says. "We'll be okay." Oh, they do have new dialogue. Mars shoots you a sympathetic but distracted smile. Okay, that is all I'm getting out of everybody today, isn't it? Mother? Yep. No. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Solana. Uncle Tonin sighs as he blocks your path. He looks like he hasn't been sleeping. "I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be out here. Our children are so young and so precious, so fragile. Please stay near the ship." This man's gonna have 10 accents by the time I'm done. "Sorry," Deese mumbles. He looks uncomfortable to be around you. Anemone is unusually still today. She's sitting in the dugout of the sports ball pitch, fiddling with an ugly doll with red hair. "Anemone gave me this," she sighs. "I kinda told her to shove off 'cause I don't play with dolls. Why'd I have to be so mean to her?" You've been AFK for 15 minutes? There was a funeral! You missed it! How am I finding the game so far? I'm enjoying it. The Tammy's event was a surprise. Oops, he says. Tangent shoots you a distracted look. Sorry, she says. I'm not really good at cheering people up. Fucking relatable. Can I study in the greenhouse? Oh yeah, I've always wanted to shovel dirt. Thanks, Mom. The greenhouses have different yes, that's fine. It's fine. Hehehe. Oh no. I saw that card. Oh no. Why can I still give that to somebody? Maybe I don't need to give that to him. It's fine. Cal is scratching a stick listlessly in the dirt, seemingly uninterested in your presence until you get right up in his face. Oh, hey Solana, he says, mustering up a hollow smile. Sorry, I don't really feel like playing today. I'm not going to give him the cotton candy. I don't want to be responsible for psychologically traumatizing another child. Oh, you found me. Deese is adjusting better than you'd expected to life on the surface. He's already found new places to hide and do whatever he does out here by himself. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to give the cotton candy to anybody, but it does occur to me it would be interesting at least. Oh, never mind. I don't actually have anything to give him. Oh, thank God. Wait, does that mean... Yep, no, it's just giving me the option. Okay. Nothing new going on with Mom. Dad's being a nerd. Are you good out there, Uncle Tonin? Absolutely not. You're having an emotional crisis ongoing. Solana, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. Cotton candy is a card / memory, not a gift item. Yeah, but it was throwing me up the, give item screen when, and that was the only new thing I had, so I got confused. You expect me to, like, understand shit? Absolutely not. Who? Deese? Yes, Deese, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and well, she trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but well, people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. I will talk to him. He probably won't tell you, Tangent says angrily. Newton's apple, she swears. He won't even talk to me anymore. She sighs. You may have to follow him. I would, but everyone in the lab would know I was gone. No one cares where he goes during the day. An enemy holds her stomach as you approach. Does the air here make you feel... Oh, this is the hungry air again. Yeah, I got nothing, bud. Hey, nerd. You tell Deese that his sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. Then his eyes flit briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off towards the engineering wing, where his sister is reading on her holopalm between classes. He doesn't say anything. She's worried about you. She doesn't care about me, he says sullenly. Tangent's just worried she'll get into trouble if I don't come home one day. He scowls and picks at the hem of his sweater. She doesn't care about anything but her schoolwork. I'm not or elsing him. His shoulders slump in relief as you go. Oh, for the love of God, Tan. Talk to him! Okay, you're 10. I don't know what I expected. I need to do something, I imagine. Sports ball gives me people skills? Bravery. Sure, I'll probably need that to survive. An enemy meets you on the court. She's bouncing from one leg to the other in excitement. My brother Calm is organizing the youth team, she tells you. Kombucha offers you a high five. No comment. Kombucha offers you a high five and greeting, then tosses a sports ball your way. Let's start with a practice game to see what you get at. You and an enemy are team captains. Pick your team. Calm will fill in to even up the teams, but he promises to go easy on the other side. Bruh. I literally can't choose anyone but Mars. She might kill me. Mind if I play goalie, he asks. Sports ball is fun, but I don't really like to score against the other team. An enemy chooses Kombucha, of course. They bump fists. Your next choice? Mars. Hell yeah. I'll play Spiker. Mars runs to take position. Seems like she's in it for the glory. Hopefully she'll want to share some of that with the rest of the team. You face off, 3-on-3. Story, 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round you keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing. Sure. Does that mean I'm supposed to be sitting on all of these cards, or... We'll use that there. Ah! Understanding descends. Okay, no. Hell yeah! Cal makes an amazing jump save, but is winded when the ball hits him in the chest. The score is tied, with an enemy in Calm putting the pressure on. Then, blam! You score the match point with a rad spike all the way from the net line. Does that make sense to people who play sports? It's time for Vertumnalia. That's the third time I've mispronounced it. Udicott and the Council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth's history, Udicott begins, and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. Ahem. In Earth's history, Vertumna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebears of the Vertumna project chose to take on such an auspicious name in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Vertumnalia, a midsummer festival to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. Yeah, might as well clap, it's only polite. Everyone cheers and applauds. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to give their own speeches. Governor Udicott announces each one. Governor Udicott, command. Chief Administrator Seek, command. Security Chief Rhett, garrison. Chief Engineer Instance, engineering. Chief Cultivator, Flulu, geoponics. Chief Steward Antecedent, quarters. Chief Surveyor Melatonin, expeditions. When it's your mother Flulu's turn, That's my mother's name? Okay. When it's your mother Flulu's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown from Vertumnan soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the Stratosphere, it would have mostly been soy-based food from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing bays. This year, the earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vertumnan plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy watato pods and slabs of edible fungi. Nothing that can be described as a slab qualifies as edible, but okay. Udicott takes the stage after everyone on the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities? She asks. Professor Hal and Security Chief Rhett have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Talent show. It's an all-singing, all-dancing, all-talent extravaganza. The entire colony gathers to watch the show after dinner. First up, Deese plods up to the front of the stage as a pop song starts to play. He just stands there, deadpan, staring into space with his arms at his sides while the singer belts out the first verse. Then, as the chorus comes in, he suddenly springs to life, dancing and lip-syncing to the lyrics frantically, waving his arms and grinning maniacally, then collapses back to standing still once the chorus is over. It's hilarious, but you aren't sure you're supposed to be laughing. I feel bad for this child. Next, Mars performs a choreographed dance routine to an old Earth song by an AI idol. She has light-emitting balls at the ends of her hair, which she swings around everywhere in the dim light, while controlling a small floating ball drone who dances with her. It's total overkill, but it is impressive. I feel like I could get away with a comedy routine. All of these are hard, so it doesn't really matter. Comedy. Make somebody laugh. Oh, please tell me I'm not still in mourning. Oh, I'm in danger. Sure. It'll be fine. I'm tanking through it. I'm gonna pay for that. I don't care. Hey! Everyone laughs at your comedy routine. You win, as voted by audience applause. Also, I'm popular now, apparently. Mars begrudgingly shakes your hand, leaning in to whisper that you better enjoy your victory now, because she's going to destroy you next year. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. Oh yeah, I don't even have to have consequences for pushing through with the stress. Hell yeah. An enemy. You are... For the love of God, somebody feed this child. I know she's like 10, but... Okay, she's still complaining about her brother. Why don't you just tell him that you're worried about him like a normal human being? Cal's mom, Tira... Oh dear. Cal's mom, Tira, is sitting with Cal against the makeshift fence that surrounds the gardens. Cal looks absolutely shattered, and Tira rubs his back uncomfortingly. He sees you and musters up a brave smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Hey, Solana. It's good to see you. My question is, shattered exhausted or shattered emotionally distraught? I feel like I need to level up my bravery. Oh! A log. You like... One of you likes plants, right? Oh, maybe I should keep that. You like plants. There you go. More than happy to get a stick I found on the ground. Kids. God, she's a miserable human being. Double kudos, but... The shop isn't open, so I have no idea whether or not I care about having kudos. Let's see about bravery. Ooh, but I can get 4 for humanities. I'm not smart enough to register for engineering. You know what? We're going back to humanities. It's impossible to partner with either Tang or Mars for group work this month. Every time you try to get one of them to be your partner, they've already stuck to each other like glue. You can't imagine they'd be friends, but the evidence is right before your eyes. Oh great, I'm getting dumped. I should definitely be doing the kudos work, though. Or trying to crank up my bravery. You know what? I wonder if Uncle Tonin will tell me what the hell Deese gets up to. No, he will not. Ah, Cal. You're looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over someone else. One of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded? Hey! They exclaim, ripping the blindfold off their face and throwing it to the ground. It's Cirrus, one of an enemy's brothers. He glares at you. I was almost done! Cal jogs over and grabs Cirrus in a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you were so close. Cirrus stamps his feet and complains that you got in his way. It's not her fault, Cal says. She didn't know we were playing a game. Give me a sec, I want to teach her how to play. Cal turns to you as Cirrus leaves. Sorry, Solana, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Cirrus a new game, but he's more like an enemy than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He stoops to pick up the blindfold, brushing off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with some different kinds of games other than sports ball, he says. No winners or losers. I just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks at you hopefully. Do you want to learn how to play? Sure, why not? This feels weird. Cal's smile looks like it's going to stretch right off his face. Radical! He shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first put on this blindfold. That is not the correct... don't like that sentence. The blindfold is a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hands on your shoulders. I'm going to spin you around, and when I let go, you got to listen to my instructions. We're going to walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You nod. You can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice as he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3... First, Cal says, you gotta walk 10 steps forward. Do you follow Cal's instructions as best as you can, or make things difficult for him? I've resigned to doing this, but I kinda do want to make it work for him, but I would feel bad. You take 10 steps straight forward, holding your hands out for balance. The rocky dirt beneath the garden beds crunches under your feet. Yeah, says Cal. Now, turn to your right and take 15 steps until you get to the door. I only have the option to get it correct. You turn to the right and walk forward, counting out 15 steps. When you stop, Cal laughs. You can hear his footsteps crunching behind you. I forgot how much bigger I am than you. You're like 2 more steps away. You take 2 more steps until your outstretched hands land on the warm metal of the door. Success! Awesome, says Cal. You can't help but smile. This is fun. Now, hit the door button on the right, and then keep walking forward until I say stop. Go really slowly, okay? Oh, great. You open the door and start to walk forward. The path slopes downwards and your feet slip a little bit, even though you're moving as slowly as you can. Real dirt is nothing like the metal floors of Stratospheric. It's turbo rocky here, Cal says, and you can feel uneasiness prickle up the back of your arms. Just keep going forward. You try to do as you're told, but after a few steps, your foot knocks against a sprawling root and you fall forward, catching yourself on your hands and knees. Ouch! You tear off the blindfold, a sudden rush of tears flooding your eyes. Cal's beside you in an instant, kneeling on the rocks. Are you okay? He asks. You look down at yourself. Your knees and hands are pretty scraped up, and your pride is bruised, but other than that, you're okay. Cal helps you stand. I'm sorry, Solana. I'll be a better helper next time. He asks if you want to get some Watato juice at the cafeteria instead. You spend the rest of the afternoon brainstorming more games where there are no winners or losers. I hope fewer of them involve breaking my ankles. Thank you. We are committing to the empathy path. Wait, no, shit, I'm popular. We're committing to the money-making path first. Oh, hey, Mars. You know, Solana, you're right. You're all right, Mars says as you approach. You blink at her, trying to figure out what she means. You're all right, what? At your stunned silence, Mars laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder. You're all right, she repeats. You actually have good taste, unlike all these other nullheads. Ever since we landed, it's been help with this, Mars, and don't waste resources on that, Mars. It's boring. At least you understand the importance of sophistication. You shoot the breeze with Mars a bit longer. At some point, Dee skulks out of the living quarters and has to pass by you both, clearly trying not to draw your attention. Ugh, where is he going now? Mars mutters to you, and then raises her voice so Dees can hear. Try not to get eaten by aliens, she calls out to Dees. If you die out there, they can't use your body for fertilizer. Don't be a waste. The fuck, Mars? Shut up, Mars. You say it loud enough for Dees to hear. He looks at you with wide eyes before scurrying towards the walls. Wow, I didn't lose friendship with Mars for that? Oh. Huh, Mars says with a little smile. No accounting for taste. She seems to respect that you challenged her. She watches Dees disappear from sight, then shrugs. Maybe you can get through to him? I've tried, but he doesn't care about contributing to the colony, or being popular, or earning kudos, or anything important. I want to ask what she contributes. But I feel like, in a weird way, she's not actively trying to be cruel. She's just fucking terrible with people. I don't want... No, I have been not taking your advice for this entire thing, so I'm going to continue to not take your advice, Arrow. Thank you. I need to up my bravery. I don't know what the hell job I need for that. Is it hauling rocks? No. Thank God for that. Wait, no, money. Right, money. This may be meaningless to me, but... Oh, this actually does. Sure. Seek sends you all around the colony delivering supplies. During your first week, it's mostly small things you can carry by hand or push on a little cart. Stuff like tools and electronics. Some are high priority, which means you have to move fast. It's fun getting to yell, "Important delivery coming through!" and people actually getting out of the way. Oh, sick. Ah, yes, Mars is complaining about the concept of weather again. Oh, hello. It's pouring rain, and everyone's trying to stay dry under the grass-roofed palapas. Everyone except Dees. Off in the distance, over at the wall near the sports ball field, he's definitely skulking. If I tell someone, can I tell his sister? Oh, damn it. You tell Security Chief Rhett that you saw Dees up to no good around behind the garrison. That's not true! I didn't see him up to no good. He's too distracted trying to put buckets under various leaks in the roof to pay you much attention. Thank you, Solana. I'll check it out later, he says, waving you off. If there's a danger to the colony, one of the lookouts will catch it. You're not so sure. You know Dees. He is very good at hiding when he doesn't want to be found. I was gonna tell Tang, but... this is engineering. I'm not smart enough to register for that yet. What are we at? 72? That's fine. I'm playing sports ball, which is horrible. You're paired with Nugget in practice. You make the mistake of underestimating her, and she wipes the pitch with you. My goal is 12. Fuck off. Oh, okay. Set neighbors to this value. Ha! You have a terrifying, familiar dream. A monster crashing through the walls, unfathomably large, every part of it wriggling and moving and searching for something. It tramples through the colony as you watch helplessly. Time shifts to the wreckage of your home. You're picking through it, looking for something. Tears streaking down your dust-covered face as you lift heavy pieces of debris, searching. You wake up shouting, "No!" but your voice is drowned out by a deafening rumble from the skies outside. The bedroom window is covered in water? It's pouring down from the clouds. You guess this must be rain, but you've never experienced it before. There's a bright flash from outside, then another crack and rumble. Thunder! It must be a thunderstorm! It's still the early hours of the morning. You've already almost forgotten your bad dream, but you're too unsettled to go back to sleep yet. The rain beats down on the roof of your quarters, joined now and then with great peals of thunder like the footsteps of an angry beast. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going outside. Just like a heads up, don't do that in a thunderstorm, specifically, especially if there's lightning. Like, thunder's fine, lightning's the problem, because that can kill you, but I really fucking love a good storm. I won't go out in it anymore because I'm too old for that shit. My joints will hurt. But like a good fucking storm, prop up in the window with a cup of tea or something, it is so good. It's surprisingly warm outside, and the water feels nice hitting your head. Everything smells fresh and damp and wonderful, and the dusty packed ground is turned to squelchy mud between your toes. You don't go too far from the door to your quarters, but it's exciting being outside in the dark, watching dramatic streaks of lightning arc down to the hills behind the colony. Has no one... somebody feed this child! Hey, Tang. Okay. The enemy needs food. Tang desperately needs everybody else in the colony to take a bath. Cal is not here. Dees is having a bad time. Oh, hey, father. You're looking a little worn out, my firefly. Your dad greets you, looking concerned. You know, despite what your mom says, there is such a thing as too much work. Maybe some R&R over in the lounge would help recharge those solar cells. What do you say? Yeah, maybe I just need a hug. Yeah, parental attention. Your dad throws his arms wide. Well, get in here, Tiger Butter. After a long hug, you do feel a little better. Your dad gives incredible hugs. Oh, another. Why are there so many sticks? I have ceased to be popular, which means I'm not going to bother dealing with that. Would you like a stick? Wait, no. Never mind, I'm hanging on to that one. I can take a vacation next month. Let's do some exercise. Mars may not be as skilled a sports ball player as an enemy, but she plays hard. She orders people around like a team captain, but she isn't so great at passing the ball. She'd rather be the star. Her favorite thing is to spike the ball right into the opposing net stop's body. It's not a legal move, but she's done it so many times that the opposition now stands further back when Mars has the ball, which is exactly what she wants. Did you see that? An enemy complains to you during a break. Mars wouldn't pass the ball to either of us for 10 whole minutes. Somebody has to do something. An enemy looks at you questioningly. Yeah, we would have to talk to her. You pull Mars aside before the second down. When you explain that she needs to change her behavior, she gets defensive and angry, but seems to understand what you're saying. Fine, she says. I get it. If I hog the ball and don't pass it to players who are worse than me, they'll never get better. I guess you have a point. Oh my god, woman. Mars tries your teamwork theory out, and the three of you sweep the floor with the other team. She does a fairly good job of actually being team captain, too, encouraging you and an enemy to play your best. Turns out, Mars likes winning even more than she likes being the one with the ball. Sure, why not? Works for me. How's bravery looking at? 8. Fucking hell. Oh, maybe I don't need a nap just yet. Doesn't look like anything new. Okay. More sports ball. Why am I doing this? No, I'm going back to... Yes, I need a break soon, but soon is not now. Study the life sciences. For today's lesson, Professor Hal tells you, we'll start with a fun group project. You'll be studying the mush tree, a prominent natural resource native to Vertumna. In the ideal conditions, it can grow at a speed of over 1 meter a day and have a diameter of up to 30 centimeters. He stands on his tiptoes and gestures to illustrate. Your team will experiment to find those ideal conditions. You're teamed up with Tang and Cal and are given a mush tree spore and a bucket to grow it in. The rest is up to you. Tang looks up surveyor's notes on the HoloNet. Mush trees, she reads, are most abundant south of the colony, in the stormy, moist regions of the subaqueous swamp. What if we use water instead of soil, Cal suggests, like they do with hydroponics? Tang nods. If they like wet weather, that might work. Solana, do you have any suggestions? I mean, all of the above, probably. Like, people do that. That's been proven to work on tomatoes, I think, for some reason. Bright grow light, not if it's in a swamp. Water pH. You fill the bucket with water and add spark snow crystals. These are sometimes left over at the end of quiet season. They're mildly acidic, which means they should lower the pH of the water. Every day, you rush into the classroom to check on its progress. At first, there's nothing, but by midweek, your little mush tree shoot sprouts up and starts its journey. In the end, yours is in the middle of the pack. Seeing as mush trees don't usually grow where there is spark snow, you're able to conclude that they probably don't like acid. Yeah, gonna be honest. I thought acid was the other end of the pH scale, like lowering it would set it more towards a base, but I'm gonna take that personally. The days have been getting shorter, with only the yellow suns barely skimming the horizon. One morning you wake up in the darkness and have to check your holopalm to know what time it is. You see a holostream from Mars. Good morning to all my pals, if you can even call it morning. They've named it glow season because, like, everything is crazy glowing out there in the dark. I am staying the heck inside for the next month. What's the point in even going out if you can't see anything? It's gonna be a long, boring month. No way, that sounds cool as hell. You peek out the window. The wormhole is the biggest you've ever seen it. like a massive fiery ring in the sky. The planet must be very close to it now. And out in the jungle, something new is taking place. The plants are flowering, glowing iridescent blooms, and everything is full of life. There are strange new sounds, long hooting calls and gurgling roars. After Mars's message is a notice from the council, warning everyone to stay safe inside. Tammy's dad and the other surveyors have been called back, and the gates closed for the month. There's a tension in the air, as if everyone is waiting for something. Huh. Well, this is freaking cool. Of course an enemy's not inside. Nope. I do need some time off. But that's a problem for later. Dees is staring off into the wilderness outside the gates. Feels different, he mumbles. Dunno how, just different. You ask him what he means, but he just shakes his head and stuffs his hands in his pockets. Oh, cool. Hey, you want a rock? Probably should have kept that. But it was a cool rock. Hey, Mom. Oh. Solana! Your mom stops you as you walk by. What are you doing out of our quarters? It isn't safe out here. I'm going to school! She nods with grudging approval. Fair enough, she says. Stay close to the stratospheric. Got it? We don't know what's out there this time of year. As you walk away and are just out of earshot, you hear her mumble, Stars, it is beautiful, though. Oh, I need a break. I really need a break. You nestle in the cushions, close your eyes, and listen to music. You have an archive of over 100 years of music to choose from. But still, you wonder what new songs they're writing these days, 10 million light years away on Earth. The only new music you've heard is when the adults come up with a new space shanty. It's nice, good music for harmonizing with your friends as you work, but it's not really something you want in your ears all the time. I got a lot of yellows, so I'll forget my first words. It's daytime when the emergency sirens start up. Well, what passes for day. It's still nearly pitch black except for the eerie, green twilight glow on the horizon. You look towards the gates. They're open. Wait, they shouldn't be open. The alert blares out of every speaker in the colony. It's the same one you use for hull breaches and fires, and in space it meant you were supposed to go to the nearest emergency shaft and put on a spacesuit. On Vertumna, it means go to an assembly point and wait for instructions. The closest assembly point is in the children's creche, but from the opposite direction you hear shouting and loud popping noises. Gunfire. Is the colony under attack? Oh, I actually can help fight. Yeah, sure, why the fuck not? What am I gonna do about it? You'll try your best to be brave and fight back. First, you dodge some helpful grown-ups who point you back to the creche. I'm so getting my ass. Damn. Then, you head outside to get your bearings. You can hear yelling from up the stairs to command, and a commotion to the southeast at Geoponics where your parents are working. Your parents are defending the greenhouses from a pack of knee-high creatures which seem to have eyes growing all over their bodies. Their oily flesh ripples with a constant, subtle motion as the individual eyes blink one at a time, incessantly. You can't tell which end is which with these horrible things. Cal is standing nearby. Wide-eyed, he slowly picks up a shovel and moves beside you. He reluctantly holds the shovel in front of himself like a weapon. Easy, doggies, he whispers. We don't want to hurt you. Get out of here, both of you, run, your mom shouts, attracting the pack's attention. All except one animal, which moves straight towards you and Cal. I'll figure out what it was. You look into its too many eyes and see fear. This creature is scared of you. To Cal's amazement, you crouch down to try to look less threatening and choose 2 eyes at random to look into, to communicate with. I am getting my throat ripped out. You start to reach out a hand, but the creature is trembling. Staring into its eyes has made it even more frightened than before. It pounces. Hey, I was right. Live, bitch! You killed it! With nothing but a rake thrust deep into several of the creature's many eyes, the rest of the pack scampers off the moment it falls. You've never killed anything before. The body of the creature that was so terrifying a minute ago now looks strangely small and harmless. All of its eyes have closed for good now. Cal crouches beside it in shock. I told you to run, Solana! Uh-oh. Your mom looks furious that you put yourself in danger. She storms over, and you think she's going to slap you. Then suddenly she pulls you into her arms and hugs you. She keeps rocking you and saying, my baby, over and over. It's pretty surreal. Almost as weird as the dog things with the eyes, honestly. After 2 weeks of darkness, with the blue sun barely skimming the horizon, it begins to move higher in the sky, and daytime returns. The council admits that they don't know how the gates were opened, or how the creatures got in. Some of the attacking creatures were once thought to be docile. Others were species nobody had seen before. It was like something had driven them to assault the colony. At least nobody was killed, this time. That sounded like a threat. I'm in danger. Childhood is fleeting. The game will end when you reach age 20, so you should focus on a few skills to improve and friends to spend time with. Use the Skills and Friends button at the top left of the screen to keep track of them. Good luck. Oh, I get skills as I level, I age too, I think. Did I? Maybe? I don't know. Wow! Tang furrows her brow as you approach. You again? She says. Why do you keep pestering me? It's not as though you've done anything to impress upon me your usefulness. At your blank look, Tang rolls her eyes. What I mean is, we're not friends. Yeah, it's no reason to fucking publicly execute me, woman. Jesus. An enemy is running around the sports ball pitch. Com says the most important part of defense training is knowing when to run away, she huffs as she runs past. Good thing I'm so good at running. Deese is sitting in the grass near the big gates that lead out to the jungle. He's just staring out into nothingness and picking absent-mindedly at the weeds. He pretends not to notice as you approach. Well, you're getting company. He shifts uncomfortably as you sit, but doesn't say anything. You both just hang out, saying and doing nothing. You stare out the big gates. The grass in the colony is trimmed short by garden bots, but out there it's wild and high as your waist. Head Surveyor Tonin is prepping his equipment for an outing. He's bringing a lot. Maybe he's going to stay out overnight. You're starting to wonder if Deese will ever acknowledge you when he says, I've gotta go. He starts down the hill, he pauses and says, This is a good spot. I'll probably come back here tomorrow. Told you. Friendship mandatory. No escape. The fuck is that? Oh, it's a plant. I thought it was a naked chicken. Cal is scrubbing his hands at the water barrel, trying unsuccessfully to get all the dirt out from under his fingernails. It looks like a lost cause. Cal's hands have been dirt-stained, probably since you landed here. Stupid, Cal mutters. Stupid. Ugh. He jerks his hands out of the water and holds them to his face, and you hear him sob. Why did they have to? It's not fair. We didn't do anything to them. He wipes his eyes and startles when he sees you. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there, he says. I was just, washing my hands. Man, these children are traumatized. Oh, he's gotta be the worst of it, between Tammy and the dogs. Parental unit. You learned at a young age not to sneak up on your mom. She's jumpy and gets kind of mean if anyone ever surprises her. That's just how she's always been, and you've never questioned it. You always make sure to walk a little more heavy when she hasn't noticed you yet. You spot your dad playing cards with two of the other agriculturalists. You don't recognize the game, but you watch your dad throw down his hand and groan, and then peel off his shirt and toss it into the pot. I'm literally losing my shirt over here, he says, and his two friends laugh uproariously. Your dad wipes his eyes, chuckling, and then sees you. Oh, hey, Solana, you need something? Okay, first of all, are you playing strip poker in the open? Second of all, I did not appreciate how much reading was going to be in this game. Oh. In L. Mars is leaning over a hollow screen, chin in hand. She exhales and blows a piece of hair out of her eyes. I hate schoolwork, she says, but my dad's told me that a good education is necessary for all people of culture, so I guess I gotta do it. She scrolls listlessly through her work with one finger. I'm doing the science parts last, though. Wait a minute, they said they were opening the shop this year, didn't they? Okay, maybe straight out the gate was a little soon. Time's just being mean to me now. Oh, I get bonus physical skill increases, so guess we're doing sports again! That's a really low bonus. Is there anything else I could do with a better one? Still engineering. I think ecology? Yeah, let's shovel some dirt. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy! Good morning, Solana. Looks like you've been working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my daughter. She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky, old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now, any questions before you start moving that dirt? Where do I move it to? From over there, she points to a dirt pile, to there. She points to an identical pile 10 meters away. She sees your confusion. We had some very precious soil from Earth on the ship, full of all the nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost, she sighs, in an accident. Now we have to make more from scratch using permanent soil. This is part of the process. Why not use hydroponics? On the ship, we grew most of our plants with their roots in the water, and it's true it was more hygienic that way, your mom replies. She brushes an insect off her arm, which lets out a loud squeak of objection. But hydroponic systems use too much energy. Here, we have to grow as much as we can the old-fashioned way. Don't we have machines for this? The construction crew's already claimed all the hover lifters, she says, shrugging. But they'll break down in a few years anyway, and we don't have the materials to fix them. She grips your forearm. We're planet-side now. Use your muscles. Nature's hydraulic pistons. Let's get to work. That's my girl, your mom says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good, somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. As you get older, challenges can have conditions. The challenge suit determines what conditions can appear and which deck will work best. Try to collect social cards if you want to win battles for social skills. Yeah. Okay. Can I do reverse order these? Yes. Excellent. Oh, I forgot to see what that turnip did. Oh well. So much has happened in the last month since the monster attack during Glow. The idea of this planet as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security squads are training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. In class, you have drills on what to do if the colony is attacked again. In all the excitement, you forgot today was your birthday. Your parents haven't forgotten. They wake you up early with enthusiastic shouts of "Surprise!" A Vertumnan year is a little longer than a year on Earth, so you've taken up its calendar for birthdays. Yours is in the second month of quiet. Spark snow slowly drifts past your porthole window as you snuggle with your dad. Your mom climbs up too and sits on the edge of your bed. Your dad pulls a bowl of fruit from behind his back with a flourish, like a magic trick. At least you think it's fruit. What are those? Bobber fruit, your dad grins. The foragers have been picking these just outside the walls. They might look funny, but they're tasty. Try one. You take a cautious bite. The pulp is soft and tastes a bit like lemon, only more blue. I bet you can't wait to join the surveyors out there, your dad says wistfully. Who knows what else you'll find? Solana is not allowed outside the gates, your mom interrupts, her voice sharp. It's too dangerous for kids. Well, I know, but eventually, your dad says, but your mom cuts him off again. But not now, your mom replies. Not since the attack, not with everything we know is out there now. You knew about the monsters, admit it. Ooh. I don't want to start a fight on my birthday. Your dad hugs you close. Aw, don't worry, Tomato Head, he says warmly. We'll keep you safe. Your mom reaches over and pats your leg awkwardly. I know it's scary, but if you do as you're told during emergency drills, you'll be okay. Nothing is going to hurt you kids while we're around. You'd like to believe them, but you've seen the colony fall in your dreams. How long will it be until those visions become real? Even still, your mom says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if that happens again. To be clear, this includes knowing when to run away, your dad adds. Chief Security Ret's offering self-defense lessons at the garrison, you know. Even for kids. If you're interested, you should drop in sometime. Your mom gives you a stern look. And I know your friend Deese has been sneaking outside the walls, she says grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear. You laugh. What a good joke. Your mom doesn't laugh. I mean, I'm gonna do what I want, but... What? Me? Never. Yeah, you better never, your mom retorts, crossing her arms. Yeah, no, I was lying, Mother dear. You don't need to give me loyalty points for that. I just don't want to start a fight on my fucking birthday! Oh, Cal's still being incredibly traumatized. I don't blame him. This child is up to something. Did you find out about that one thing about Deese? That doesn't narrow anything down, Arrow. That doesn't narrow anything down. What do you mean that one? I don't think I found out much of anything about Deese, aside from the fact that he's sneaking around when no one's looking. And his sister's being mean to me now. Oh, for the love of... Get out of my sight. I cannot believe it's my turn to fall for one of those. I'm doing defense training, and then I'm coming after you. You attend your first lesson of Security Chief Ret's self-defense classes. It's a small class, mostly security officers and other adults. You and an enemy are the only kids. She gives you a wink and a cheesy thumbs up as you listen to Rhett rant about how everyone in the colony needs to learn self-defense. You could be I'm running out of voices, man. You could be walking along, thinking you're safe within the walls, and a flying animal could swoop out of the sky. Then what do you do? Rhett chops the air with his hand. I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to chop that beast right in the throat. Hiya! He points at the assembled class. But only if you learn what I'm about to teach you. And the only way to learn is by doing. Who wants to volunteer for a demonstration? This is going to hurt. The security chief doesn't scare you. Or so you pretend. Rhett is like the biggest adult you know, and he's so intense. You step forward, and Rhett nods as he crouches down. Okay, he says, I'm a manticore, stalking you through the forest. What do? Run. Because I'm 11. There's a smattering of laughter among the other students, but you have to live your truth. If you see a manticore, you are out. Rhett doesn't laugh. That's correct, he says proudly. Only engage with the enemy when there's no other alternative. No one walks away from a fight without getting hurt, so the first rule of self-defense is to not put yourself in situations where you need to fight. Once you've learned situational awareness, we'll move on to hand-to-hand self-defense and drawing on a variety of martial arts. Only when I'm confident that you're ready will we advance to weapons. There aren't that many weapons in the colony, mostly stun gloves and batons with a few plas rifles. You hope you don't have to use them, but it'll be good to know how. Sure. Oh, actually, that's a better idea. Then I don't lose any... Son of a bitch. Oh, I need a nap. Oopsie. Ooh. That's how I get points for the animals. Aww. Dee wipes his eyes and hides his face as you approach. Go away, he sniffles. I just want to be left alone. Why won't people just leave me alone? I don't want to be a part of this stupid colony. Would you like a bug? A fruit? He's so confused, the emotional whiplash. Thank you, Dee says, clearly unsure how to react. I'll, find something to do with it. Friendship acquired. You're still being a bitch for me. Next time I find a bug, you're getting it. You good, bud? Nope, you are still incredibly traumatized. You good, bud? Mars is watching her hollow screen intently. She shushes you before you can get a word in. They're about to kiss, Mars hisses, barely giving you a second look. It's nice to take some time off to chill after all the stress of school and work, not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. Okay, that would be useful, but it's my two. Okay, but you do stink, you hear Mars defend herself. It's not my fault that you can't tell. Maybe your nose stopped working, but the rest of us can smell it, and she waves her hand in front of her nose and makes a pew gesture, then turns to you. He smells awful, right, Solana? Why does that card look like that? Sniff test seems like a bad idea. This whole planet smells awful. Dee smiles shyly and Mars rolls her eyes. You're right, she admits, but some of us have higher standards than others. What do you mean keep up the bullying? I haven't done any bullying! Aside from one accident. It's fine, don't worry about it. He's so up to something with that shit. Oh dear. You meet your dad adjusting a watering pot in your mum's flower garden. He's having a sneezing fit, his eyes runny and red. You're alarmed. You've never seen him look sick before. People were hardly ever ill on the stratospheric, except sometimes when the zero-G rooms made them queasy. Not to worry, my little beanstalk, he says nasally. I'll be fine. It's just this pollen making my head a little stuffy. He wipes his nose with a handkerchief and looks around. Everywhere you turn, the air is soupy and tinged with pink from all the floating pollen. On Earth, your dad tells you, we used to call this hay fever. Even though it had nothing to do with hay, your mum cuts in, carrying a large bouquet of flowers. The native flowers seem to be in full bloom this time of year. She buries her nose deep in them, and they smell fantastic. Your dad smiles kindly and agrees that they sure are beautiful. Then he blows his nose loudly. Why would you be scared of pollen? Sniff the flowers. They do smell good, and they look harmless. Your dad's eyes look so sad, but maybe that's just the allergies. Hey Solana, I know the last few weeks have been very hard for you. This might be a good time to relax and stick around in the quarters wing. Absolutely not, now that you've said it like that, Father dear. I will absolutely not be doing that. I've already been into the quarters. And my stress is at 0. Oh, Mars is watching the same one, I think. Ooh, now would be a good time to know. I do need to do more in the life sciences. What do I need for engineering 5 reasoning? I haven't seen anything that buffs that. Study humanities. You're bringing supplies to medbay when you see something unusual. Tangent, curled up on a bench, her head pillowed on a rolled-up lab coat. She's fast asleep. You stop and stare. You never see Tang sleeping. She's always so busy. You're surprised she even has time to sleep. You turn to leave her in peace when you bump into an enemy. Whoa, an enemy said. She hardly ever sleeps. Like, just a couple hours a night. Is she sick or something? You look back at Tangent, snoozing peacefully. I'm so jealous of her genetic enhancement, an enemy says, rubbing at one of the scales sprouting on her jawline. She hardly needs to sleep at all. She probably stayed up all night studying for this morning's history test. Oh, hush, let her sleep. Tang's hollow palm beeps a soft alarm. She sits up and stretches, looking totally refreshed and alert. She sees you watching her and looks annoyed. Just a power nap, she says. No reason to gawk. Ew. Oh, there's a star rating that I genuinely didn't notice. Suspiciously quiet. Hey, a log. They open that Godsbetown shop yet? No. This should probably... Oh no, I probably need to do... yeah. If I want to unlock more stuff in there, I should probably be doing the life sciences. Oh. Tangent is watching a construction crew build scaffolding for the new engineering pavilion. They're using mushwood, which is so light that one person can easily lift a 10-meter long pole and stack it into place. She points at them. Human beings are so great, don't you think? Before we landed, this was all just dirty jungle. Now, it's civilization. I've been learning about adaptability in writing and biology class. The books say it's what sets us apart from the animals. Like, we don't need fur because we can make warm clothes, and if that's too hot, we can make air conditioners instead. Maybe the animals have adaptations. Tangent rolls her eyes. Maybe. But even if they do, I haven't seen any sign of intelligent life here. It's just those big, dumb xenofauna. Some animals here are smart and friendly. Tang looks skeptical. They're still animals, Solana. Maybe they're just pretending to be nice to you, so you'll feed them. You're lucky it didn't eat you. She folds her arms. Dorb's moth look cute, but one can eat through a bag of rice in less than 30 minutes. Even a herbivore can be dangerous here. It doesn't have to want to eat you to be able to hurt you. Together, you watch as the foreman puts the blueprints for the scaffolding onto the floating screen of her holopalm and raises it to the scaffolding to check their progress. I'd like to see an alien do that, Tang says primly. Humans look defenseless and weak, but we're the strongest species in the galaxy. Who else can literally bend reality to their will? Not a stupid alien, that's for sure. She puts a finger to her chin. I'm living proof that humanity is greater than our biology, she says. All of us are, really, with our genetic enhancements. We're the next step in humanity's evolution from great ape to galactic superspecies. Okay. She has a complex. That'll definitely going to spin out into being a problem. Oh, and now I have the hiccups. Oh, I do get reasoning from this. I should probably get some reasoning. This week in biology class, you're learning about predators and prey. Professor Hal brings up a picture of a hopeye on the holoprojector and asks, "Who can tell me what special things hopeyes do when they see a predator?" Tang's hand shoots up. They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a hopeye. Hal nods. That's true, but that's not what I was getting at. Tang stammers and looks upset, like she can't believe she got something wrong. Hal scans the class. Anyone else? Solana? Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming they don't fly. Come on, Solana, think about it, Hal says encouragingly. You could at least try to guess. You give him a blank look. They thump their feet to warn other hopeyes in the area, he says. They're very communal animals. You look over to see Tang smirking at you. You both got it wrong, but she still thinks she's better than you. Oh, I can see why we're not friends. Insufferable woman. No comment. Oh, I actually get bonuses for that. You're finishing breakfast in the common area when Marzipan struts in. Look at you, eating cereal, she says, turning her nose up at you. I'll bet you don't even know what day today is. You're right, I don't. Today, she announces to the room, is St. Valentine's Day. Dees and Cal wander over to hear more. Oh, this could only end poorly. Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow and it makes you dream about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows and pigs. Cal laughs. Pigs? We don't even have pigs here. Before Mars can answer, Dee snorts. This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy. He rolls his eyes and walks away. As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back. Well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink. She's in danger. I know who my best friend will be. Mars bats her eyes jokingly. Oh, really? Who could it be? She asks playfully. Oh boy. I'm going to tell all the other kids about it, Mars says, so you go around and find your best friend and give them a gift. She points her finger at you. Make sure you do it by the end of the day or it doesn't count. And if too many people want to be my best friend, she adds, I'll hold tryouts for the position. It's only fair. She tosses her hair over her shoulder and laughs. I have absolutely massacred the voice I was doing for her. Is the shop even— oh god, I'm in danger, I'm in danger. Is the shop even open yet? Come on, Mars, you can't just hold me hostage like this. All I have is a stick. Mars has clearly been waiting for someone to come ask her to be their BFF, but she's trying to play it cool, looking expectant and nonchalant at the same time. She's tapping her foot while kind of idly looking around at nothing. On second thought, Mars looks totally hurt for a second, then says, I'm booked anyway, no room for more friends. Goodbye. Uh-oh. Do I have to pick them? I think I can just pick whoever. And I am kind of enjoying bullying this guy into having a friend. You find Dees watching the jungle through a gap in the fence, kicking the dirt with his toe. He's quiet when you walk up. He must be in one of his moods. I'll just watch with him. You sit and watch the jungle with him for a while. You ask if he's ever been on the other side of the fence. Dees nods quietly. A few times, yeah. There's a way through behind the garrison building. You both sit in silence again for a long while until he breaks it by saying, It's really nice out there. Want to be best friends to annoy Mars? You explain that, of course you aren't taking it seriously. You just think it would be funny. He looks at you and shrugs. Sure, I guess, he says, then looks back out at the forest. It is kind of funny. It's a stupid thing anyway. I may have just shattered my childhood relationships. Oh, hello. This is a terrible idea. I'm gonna fucking do it. Maybe I should wait until my physical stats, like perception, are a little higher. I probably shouldn't talk to Mars for this month. Let's do some more defense training before we try sneaking out. I don't want to die. Part of the self-defense training is training your... Part of self-defense is training your body so it can be ready for any situation. The security chief has you running laps, jumping through tires, climbing walls, and sprinting back and forth. He has this inverted anti-gravity pad that makes your limbs feel super heavy. When you do jumping jacks on it and then do them again in normal gravity, it feels like you could jump straight back up through the wormhole. It's exhausting, but not that different than sports ball training. Oh, thanks. I'm getting my ass kicked. You're getting stronger every day, but at what cost? You go home every night and soak your aching muscles, hoping that you won't hurt as much in the morning. You feel like you're getting your butt kicked. Oh, locked. Unhelpful, but sure. I can work with that. Ew. I have the distinct suspicion Mars is going to be very unhappy with me. Oh, I thought he was eating them for a second. Dust is such a dry, hot season. Both suns are high in the sky, baking the usually lush Vertumnan jungle. If there's a breeze, it's warm and, you guessed it, dusty. Your parents are up every day before dawn, which comes far too early for your liking. They're usually gone by the time you wake up, and home after you're asleep, so you have to visit them at work if you want to see them. Good morning, Gooseberry. Your dad greets you cheerily. Have you come to see the harvest? Your mom and I are gathering crops from actual Vertumnant soil this week. Sure, that sounds neat. He shows you around the rows of corn and beans from the earth. They all look a little yellow and scraggly, not what you'd expected, but your dad enthusiastically points out the vegetables ready to harvest. Don't forget, he tells you, the Vertumnalia festival is coming up. There'll be a talent show and a science fair. I'm sure you're eager to participate, Solana. Oh, fuck, I knew I forgot something. Cal is kicking a ball against the garden fence post, cheering when it bounces back towards him. Ever since we landed here, I don't play a lot of sports ball, he says, picking up the ball and tucking it under his arm. An enemy and I used to play a lot, but honestly, I think I like working in the garden more. He smiles up at the sky. I just like doing stuff that feels like it makes a difference, you know? I don't want to just play all the time, like an enemy. Okay. Ah, a stick. Another stick. Uh-oh. The consequences of my actions. Mars is in a huff. Ah, because you didn't pick her for Valentine's Day? Seems like nobody picked her. She crosses her arms and scowls at you. I can't believe you chose Dees over me. Whatever, Mars mutters, tossing her hair. I'm just too mature for kids my age. The older kids get me, even if you don't. Oh, honey, no, they don't. No, that's no. You don't want that. How old? Like we're what? 11? Like, the 12-year-old's fine. Don't go hanging out with the 18-year-olds, please. That's a crime. Or a precursor to a crime. Why am I here again? Fuck it, I'm sneaking out the back. I want to see what's going on. You've seen Dees use this drain pipe behind the garrison to sneak through the walls. There's a metal grate that comes off so you can crawl through. Do you want to go out there? Yeah. Ooh. Events in this area can be done in any order. They won't cause time to pass, but will increase your stress. Return home via the Expedition's depot flag or the home button at the top left of the screen. Watch for collectible items you can bring back as gifts. Events respawn at the beginning of each year, and new collectibles have a chance to appear every season. Excellent. You slipped through the drain pipe and out of the colony before anyone saw you. Anyone, that is, except for a dark form watching you from the trees nearby. Could that be... is that Dees? He turns and disappears into the jungle. Now you're sure of it. That was definitely Dees. He's not allowed out outside of the colony either. Just follow him. Don't shout his fucking name. That would be a terrible idea. You scamper after him through the brush, heedless of branches and brambles scraping at your arms and legs. Without a proper envirosuit, you get all scratched up. Oh shit, those folks are gonna know. This kid is fast. You quickly lose sight of Dees and can't find his trail again, but you do learn something by trying. Let's see about those That's so fluffy! Your way is blocked by a strange small creature with 1 foot and 4 large eyes, 2 of which blink sideways on top of its head like frog eyes. Oh, this must be a Hopeye. You've heard people talk about them, but you've never seen one up close. It's running around and around in circles, but stops if you take a step forward and hisses at you. You didn't know Hopeyes could hiss. Normal difficulty. I should be able to pass, ideally. Oh, yes. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, I want this one. A. Wait, no, go away. I want my kudos. You stop trying to get past it and just listen. Oh! You can hear little squeaking noises from nearby. It's probably warning you away from its nest. You carefully avoid the nest while speaking in soothing tones. The agitated little guardian titters warnings at you, but eventually lets you by. It's like the key thing about animals generally is if they're... Oh, I should. Yeah, the last thing I need is to get fucking grounded. The drainage pipe through the wall is still open and nobody's around. Do you want to crawl back through? Wait, you want me to murder the fluffy little baby? Absolutely not. How dare you? This will end the month. We'll go home. We've only just got that gate open. We don't need to lose it because I decided to stay out too late and somebody had a heart attack. It's time, once more, for Vertumnalia. The mood of the colony has been muted this year, ever since the attack during Glow. Though everything is still cheerfully decorated and the feast table is still heavy with food, mostly soy rations, this Vertumnalia just feels different in a way you can't describe. The colonists gather in the square for Governor Eudicott's speech. "What a year Vertumna has given us," the governor begins in her weedy voice. "I stand before you so proud of everything the colony has accomplished in such a short time. I have always hoped that we would bring with us the best facets of humanity, cooperation, resilience, and creativity, and the events of this year have given me no reason to doubt my convictions. These creatures were unexpected, but I urge everyone to consider what it means for life here. If Vertumna can sustain megafauna, then that means conditions are good for us as well. Our friends in geoponics are already working on the logistics of domesticating the wildlife." Your dad, as second cultivator, stands and gives a sheepish wave to the crowd. There is a smattering of applause. Mars elbows you. "Hey," she whispers, "did you hear? My dad say Eudicott's going to announce the depot's open to the public." You shoot her a questioning look and she rolls her eyes. "You know, shopping, somewhere to spend all the kudos we've been saving up. There's going to be candy and toys and makeup and nice smelling soap, not the boring kind in the communal showers." You know the concept of shopping. They do it in the hollow bits from Earth, especially the ones Mars likes, but you've never actually done it. The colony provides everything you need, but it would be nice to buy yourself a treat. "My dad's give me an allowance," Mars says, shooting you a look of pity. "It's too bad your parents make you work for yours." You and Mars tune back into the speeches just as Eudicott, as predicted, announces the opening of the general store at the depot. Mars gives you a knowing look as she claps. Eudicott gestures for the council members to stand. "Finally, the council remains unchanged from last year. We are, as always, proud to serve you and the colony as your government." The music starts up as Governor Eudicott finishes. "Thank you all for your hard work and your perseverance this year," she says over the ruckus. "Together we build the future." The crowd disperses and sets up for the annual Vertumnalia Games. Just like last year, there's a talent show, a science fair, and butt wrestling, now with an obstacle course. Which one do you participate in this year? You know what? Let's try bot wrestling, because I don't think I'll survive the talent show. Anemone and Cal join you for the bot wrestling biathlon, so called because Com has added a hologram obstacle course this year. Competitors will each get a turn to wrestle a hydraulic bot, trying to keep it closed for as long as possible. This time, though, all competitors will first have to sprint across the festival grounds, dodging and leaping over obstacles. Each obstacle triggered will subtract from your time. Is this a mini-game? Oh, thank God. Sure. Oh. Pushing through. It's only 5 stress. Wow, look at you go! You did it! You didn't expect the hologram obstacles to move. The last one dances around and gets in your way when you get close, but your reflexes are fast enough to dodge it. Calm hoots and hollers proudly at you when you absolutely destroy the competition. Even an enemy has to begrudgingly accept you beat her fair and square. She shakes your hand and tells you she'll win next year. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. Mars organizes a water fight that takes over the whole colony, even the adults. It brightens everyone's spirits, even in the thick heat of dust. You end up on top of the western wall with Dees, launching water-filled poof shrooms down on an unsuspecting anemone in the sports ball court below. The walls seem like a neat place to hang out and relax. Much quieter than the lounge if you're looking for some solitude. So then I trapped it in my room, an enemy says, telling you all about the bug she saw in her quarters. Its wings were as big as my hand, and it had feelers like, whoa! It was bouncing all over the place, like boing, boing, boing. She gestures excitedly, swinging her arms over her head. The bugs here are so big, and they're everywhere. I was gonna give it to Tang, she says. She loves gross bug stuff. But she said I should just let it go, because if it stung me, I might get weird mutant powers. I mean, other than the one I already have. And I wanted to see if I got more weird mutant powers, so I started jumping around off higher and higher things until I was jumping off the back of the ship, and I got in so much trouble. But it wasn't even that high. She stops in her tracks. Hold on, she says, stooping to rub irritably at her knees for probably the 100th time in the past 5 minutes. I'm gonna die. I busted up my knees and it's so itchy when my scales grow in. Annie, don't pick at it. Chief Steward Antecedent's voice rings out across the garrison yard, pleasant but firm. It instantly transports you back to being in the ship crash, tugging on her skirts and calling her auntie. An enemy jumps and stands up straight, her hands flying to her sides. But Mom, an enemy whines, digging her fingers into her knee as Auntie Seton approaches you both. It's so scratch-tastically itchy! I know, lovely, Auntie Seton soothes her, patting down her riotous red hair. But the more you pick at it, the thicker your scales are going to grow in. An enemy tucks her hands under her armpits to keep from scratching. What if I want to have cool scales? She pouts. Auntie Seton smiles indulgently. At the rate you're going, I'm sure you'll be covered in them before you know it. No need to rush. An enemy's skin is dotted with patches of protective blue-green scales that grow in wherever she gets a cut or scrape. She rubs the patch on her jaw indignantly, the one she got when she ran head first into the food synthesizer back on the ship. Oh, I can open these. Auntie Seton opens her satchel and pulls out a bunch of clothes. The queue for the nanoprinter is over a week long, so I patched your pants with scraps from your brother's clothing. Please, try not to put any more holes in them, or yourself, okay? She hands the clothes to an enemy and kisses her on the forehead. An enemy sticks out her tongue and gags. Yuck. An enemy evaluates the clothes as her mom walks away. Galactic, she breathes as she runs her finger over the odd color patches. Then, right in the middle of the yard, she unashamedly squirms out of her pants and pulls on the new ones. Wow, I look like a fighter jet from the Hollows, she exclaims, showing off her new pants. Like when they'd stencil your kill count on the plane. Or like a really cool scar. An enemy grins. Yeah, you get it. My pants are scarred, just like me. Thanks, I love her. Is she still being a bitch to me? Yes. Would you like a stick? Would that make you feel better? Sure. You spot Dees arguing with someone in Expeditions. They point angrily back to the gates, and Dees slinks towards you, anger in his eyes. We're trapped here, he grumbles. I hate it. I hate it here. Cal is scooting an empty wheelbarrow through the gardens. Beep beep, he cheers. I'm a garden bot. Get out of my way. He pulls up beside you and laughs. Hey, Solano, what's happening? Oh, Mars is watching the same holo again. Good lord, woman, go outside. Oh, no, to be fair, she is outside. Are you eating enough? Your mom says, looking at you critically. Drinking enough water? It's hotter here than you're used to. You have to take care of your body if you want it to take care of you. Oh, that's the Watato sniffing blossoms again. How are you doing, Uncle Torin? You step cautiously through the colony gates. Well, hey there, Solana. Uncle Tonin tries to muster his old smile. I'm afraid you better stick to sports ball for now, okay? It's a tough world outside. Wait, I can get out legit? Well, so you are, Uncle Tonin replies, his voice heavy as he looks at you with pride. You're growing up, aren't you? He nods and pats you on the shoulder, and you know he's thinking of Tammy. Listen, he tells you, I can see you're a tough cookie, and I'd love to have you on my surveyor team in the future, but you'll have to wait a few more years first. Come see me when you're older, okay, kiddo? Dang it. Dejected, you drag your feet as you walk back through the gates to safety. Well, there is still Deese's secret way out through the drain pipe near the garrison. If the adults won't let you visit the Valley of Vertigo, or the subaqueous swamps, or the other cool places older surveyors get to go yet, you could still sneak there to explore just outside the colony walls. Wait, shit, I didn't mean to walk that way. Yes. What was it I needed to do to learn animals? Defense training, I think. Yes. Empathy's been kinda carrying me lately, but I don't know how to buff it. Don't tell me it's in engineering classes, I won't take that kindly. It's gonna be in fucking engineering classes, isn't it? What's my reasoning at? 3? Alright, 2 more life sciences. You and your classmates recreate the famous accident that led to the development of penicillin, when Dr. Alexander Fleming accidentally contaminated his petri dishes and the mold inhibited bacterial growth. It's a gross experiment, but it's pretty cool to see that fungus and mold were just as important on Earth as they were here. It's wild to think about all the uses for vertumnum fungus you haven't discovered yet. Sure. Oh, shoot, it's another kudos win. Oh, the store's open. I think, maybe. Oh, supply depot. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, it means in the cards, not... right. I feel like I'm gonna need this for something coming up. It feels like something I'm gonna need to have in the bank. I hope it doesn't expire. Well, we're coming up on our time, and I know Glow is the next season, which means something interesting is most likely going to happen then. Oh, I never saved! Okay, it's fine, 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 it's fine. Oh boy. Do I have anything in the gallery? Oh. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. Thanks for recommending me the game, by the way, Arrow. That was actually, like, super fun. And that is, you're not getting that in writing. I will clip it off the end of the video if you start getting uppity about it, too. It's really fun. I'm really interested to know what's going on. And aggressively bullying more people into being my friend. I think they've done like a really good job with the writing. Yeah, rip Tammy. I feel like the writing's really good because like none of them feel particularly one-dimensional. Tang feels a little bit one-dimensional, but I get the feeling that's just because I don't have the points with her. Like I thought Mars was gonna be like very stereotypical, and she's a little bit stereotypical, but like she's counterbalanced very well, I think. Although I fucking deciding not to wander off to my doom outside the walls is apparently like loyalty to the colony. It's like, no, I just don't want to get eaten, my dude. I'm 10. But yeah, thanks for recommending it. That was actually super fun. And I'm definitely not going to create a new save and poke around in it on my off time. If you see anything that looks like that, no you don't. Ugh. Stretchies. Anyway, y'all have a good evening. I am going to go and eat something, as you can hear. My stroopwafels from the garage. And this time I'll actually put them over the coffee to make them warm. Ciao ciao!